Honestly, I have a lot of practice with it, and you'd think I'd be better at docking.
Welcome in to the Oni Podcast, the Office of Nerdy Intelligence. My name's Jack113, TikToker cosplayer. This is my lovely co-host, Cole.
Were you gonna say best friend? What were you gonna say?
I don't know. I was analyzing it in my brain. But this is my lovely co-host, Cole, also TikToker and best friend.
Hi. What's up, dude? You said Oni too, by the way. I like the way. I don't know. I've never heard anyone say that word that way, and now I kind of want to just start doing. It's the Oni podcast. I feel like that's just like, that's like the engagement bait tactic that we do, just so people are like, wait, what? Why did you say it like that? It's like, now we're having a conversation.
We got to say it different every time. Next time it'll be the Ani podcast.
I'm down for the Ani podcast. Welcome into the Ani podcast. Dude, what's up? I think that I hope my computer stays. We were just talking through in the pre-record how I've like my continuing Thunderbolt dock scenario. I'm not good. I know that you have like a thing that you want to talk about, but I'm going to keep this brief.
No, you're fine. This is the pre-thing, so we can talk about whatever.
For the people at home that are following my story, so I primarily use two computers. I primarily now have to use three computers. One is my work computer. One is my like personal MacBook that I like do most of my content creation stuff on, like when I do like, real edits, not in like the TikTok app or something like that. And then I have my Windows PC, and that's like primarily for streaming. So what I don't want to have is multiple separate microphones and multiple separate audio interfaces and multiple separate cameras that I have to reorient. And what I really can't deal with, just like emotionally, is just like a bunch of different wires every single place. So I try and keep it clean. I try and keep it fresh around here. So I have landed on some weird Frankenstein Thunderbolt dock situation where I've got a CalDigit TS4 now that is basically running all of my accessories through Thunderbolt so that I can try and just maximize bandwidth. But because there's not really still apparently one that doesn't overheat specifically on the market, a KVM Thunderbolt switcher, I am using a USB 4 switcher. So I have intermittent bandwidth issues. And this is the most interesting conversation in the world for three people.
It's all right. I'm sure that someone is like, oh, yes, these connections. I understand his problem.
I know for a fact there's one person in the world that's like, oh my God, I am also a streamer that primarily uses only Windows for streaming, but also primarily works and does all my like personal stuff on a MacBook. And I have limited space that I don't want to have multiple different, and I can't just buy more cameras. So yeah, there's one person.
Yeah, there is. I love to like hear that struggle, but also be like, yeah, no, I just have my desktop that has like 15 USB ports, 3 in the front, 8 in the back, or and then like an extender.
Here's where I think I've landed. I've basically told my wife I have to have a bigger desk, and I think that the only way that this works long term is if I essentially have a desk big enough to have two separate, when you see on the internet and it's like, here's the wife's computer, here's mine. I need that, but it's just me. And here's like I'm gonna, here's the gamer RGB side, and here's like the professional clean, like MKBHD side.
Yes.
So, welcome to the Oni podcast,
where we talk tech. So we talked about this. This is sort of our news section. We don't have a lot of news right now. Besides, we talked about RAM prices being ridiculous last podcast. But where was I going with this? I was going somewhere with this. Oh yeah, we're today's not particularly a super like Halo focused episode because we're kind of branching out and we're like focusing on the wider nerdyverse as we get less Halo news.
So we're going to anime. It's an anime podcast now.
It's an anime podcast now.
Welcome into the Annie podcast.
But so I believe this is a shorter episode today. So, so let's just get right into it. Today, I want to talk about characters, character development, and stuff like that. broadly on this is like for people who are making characters or people who are just like observing characters on the screen. What makes a good character? And like, kind of nichely, like this is how you make your OC. This is how you get all of that kind of like good characterization done. And what I want to start out by doing is giving you an example of a really good, well-developed character, and then a character that I think is absolute garbage.
Okay.
All right. And they happen to be from the same series. You could have great like parallels with this. On one hand, we have Luke Skywalker. Amazing character development. He goes from zero to hero. He earns it all. There's interpersonal struggle, all of that jazz. Even though he's the chosen one, nothing's really just handed to him like off the bat, aside from like, here is your lightsaber. Now learn how to use it. You know what I mean? Like,
hold on. Deliberately pace your words for a moment, because I've realized now that you and I might be further apart than I realized. So I've whipped this out so that I can take notes to properly come clap back at you, and I'm so fascinated. Okay.
So,
by the way, I love Star Wars and Luke Skywalker. I agree with it. I'm not setting this up to be a contrarian. Here's why Luke Skywalker actually sucks.
I've learned your ways, brother.
Literally no way. No, Luke Skywalker rules.
Yes. So then, now the antithesis to that, I think Rey was a terribly written character from the, and only because I feel like what they did with her story is they sort of like rushed her into the spotlight. So she yes, she had some development and back and forth, but she didn't have the same kind of struggles that allow her to own this I am the awesome one. There's a famous or an infamous, I guess, title that some characters can be given, both male and female, any character. Is called a Mary Sue, right? Or a Gary Sue, some people call it. But a Mary Sue is a character that is supposed to just be like ultimately powerful and good at everything and instantly liked by whatever reader's audience, and is kind of like shoehorned into being the main character instead of the story allowing them to be the main character. And I think that's kind of what happened there. So I've got a lot of points about that, but I'd love to hear your thoughts.
This isn't at all where I thought we were going to go. I think this is better. Okay, so I mean, we're necessarily going to get into like hero's journey stuff. Let's make the assumption, just for your record keeping, that I have seen all of the original trilogy of Star Wars multiple times, but it's probably been a couple years since my last watch through. And I have seen probably The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi maybe twice each, and I saw the Rise of Skywalker once. So I'm gonna be rustier on my sequel memory just through the course of the conversation.
That's okay. I have lots more character examples, so we'll dive.
Okay, I do too. Luke Skywalker is like the classic like sci-fi epitome of the hero's journey, right? Like
yes.
he gets the call to adventure. He has like the moment in the swamps in Dagobah where he's like tempted. He overcomes the stuff. I'm not going to pretend like I remember even all the steps of the hero's journey. I'm trying to think of where does Rey break from that? Like she gets the call to adventure in The Force Awakens, right? Like there's what is it? We need to go find Luke Skywalker. Is that it? Oh, dude, I'm totally like showing I don't have nerd cred right now.
It's okay. It's been a while since I've watched them, but essentially, she gets the call to adventure. Like, hey, we need to go find. We need to, like, first off, it's kind of fight the Empire, right? Because the Empire, big bad guys.
Yeah.
And then
you mean the First Order? They're really different.
Yes, you're right. We need to fight the First Order. Because
wait, hold on. Can I have a moment of positivity about the sequels just before we
Yes, absolutely. I think there are great things in the sequels too. I'm not like trashing them.
Oh, I don't. But the rides at Disney were really fun.
I want to go so bad.
I went one time, and it was really cool. I forget what the names are of any of the individual ones, but there was one of the dark rides where like you're in the cart and it like is you go through and Kylo Ren is like, I can't believe that you're in my ship. I'm going to be mean to you. And you're like, ah! Like, it was good. It's fun.
It's so cool. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there are cool things at Disney World, and I want to go to see them. In the series, though, I would even say in the trilogy, there are amazing moments when, like, I think though that, so here's where Rey departs from this, right? Is I feel, my personal opinion on this part is that I feel like Rey gets shoehorned into places she doesn't need to be. But from a person who's helped other people make characters, seen a lot of other mythos and stuff, right? Rey's backstory is, she's this orphan that's been abandoned on a desert planet for her entire life, right? She's learned all of her skills in survival skills and scavenging and stuff like that, right? She meets up with our main cast of characters. She is instantly, apparently, a better pilot at piloting the Millennium Falcon than Han Solo. Which
I'm gonna ask questions just because I don't remember it. I'm not trying to be. I feel like I remember. I'm not saying that it's a good justification, but wasn't there some like scene where she's doing like holo training or some stuff with like a headset? Am I wrong? Like that's the justification that they say.
I'm
not saying it makes sense.
No. See, it was such an inconsequential scene that I don't remember it.
Do you like? Wait, hold on. Back up. Do you like Rey? Just to like start.
No.
Okay.
No. Like, no. Okay. The biggest, like, and this goes all the way from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. At the end of the story, after the whole, light dark fighting Palpatine thing, the very last scene is her burying Luke's, Anakin's lightsabers on, Tatooine or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this person comes up and goes, "Hey, who are you?" And she turns around and looks and goes, and she has a moment to think, and she goes, "I'm Rey Skywalker," and I'm like,
Spartacus.
Like, Rey was never adopted by either of the Skywalkers. She was trained by one, and then under the orders of another.
So, I don't believe that you think that she was literally calling herself a Skywalker.
What about, that's what she said. What am I supposed to believe? You know what I mean? Like, but I'm
hold on.
saying,
No. I want to be real. No, before you move,
okay.
Is that your interpretation of it? That wasn't my interpretation of it, is why I'm saying that.
So
my interpretation of it was that it was a really, really clumsy translation of the I am Spartacus scene of like, the Skywalkers are not a family. The Skywalkers are, and again, it's clumsy, and I don't think that they earned it.
Gotcha.
I don't agree with the decision, but that's how I interpreted what they were wanting me to feel, was that I am not quite literally a Skywalker, nor am I Rey saying that I am a Skywalker by marriage or something with Kylo Ren or something like that. I am a Skywalker in that I represent the balance to the Force or something. Like, I don't know. And again, I don't think that they earned it, but like, that's how I interpreted the scene.
So see, I think that's where we're on the same page, but from different angles, is that I don't understand how they get to her saying I'm a Skywalker. Right.
It's stupid. It's dumb. Yeah. Oh, there's the fuck word.
It's okay. We're in.
We're in.
So like, the whole movie, especially the third movie, right? Their message, that entire movie, to every character is: don't be afraid of who you are. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid of your past, right? Accept who you are and go forward, right? And so if that's the message for that part of the movie and their character development, Rey 100% should have just dropped there, I'm Rey Palpatine, because that's who she actually is.
Yeah, honestly, that would have been a significant. Here's the reality. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm a little bit cognizant that like I'm not aware of conversations about the Star Wars universe, so I can't tell if this conversation that we're having is one that has happened on every single Reddit thread of all time.
I'm sure it is.
So just anyone who's thinking, oh my God, they're just saying the fucking Reddit thread. Like, I'm just being honest. I don't know.
That's okay.
Like, I agree with you. I think that would have been cooler to have some level of ownership and reinvention over what a Palpatine can be, or what a person can just like make up their own past. I do think that would have been a significantly stronger direction to go.
Yes.
I agree with you.
That leads me into general character creation, right? So when you're making your own character or any character in general, speaking like from our Halo experience, just looking at Halo, how Master Chief is portrayed in the games versus the like
And
show.
just to be clear, when you're talking about like writing, you're talking about like it could be role play stuff. You're talking about when people are being creative and they're thinking about what's this character look and feel and all that. Like,
yes, exactly that. And how we like view characters on screens and understand their heroes' journeys, right? What we should like understand about this is that like you got to earn it, dog. When you're building a character, it's sort of that like show don't tell thing.
Here's what I'll say. Here's the only point that I'll make, because I want to hear more of what you say. But I don't think you have to earn it. I think that it just isn't fun if you don't, and it doesn't work.
Very well. Yes.
Especially if anyone like plays like Dungeons and Dragons or Call of Cthulhu or any like tabletop role playing game, which like this conversation is very adjacent to. Like if like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. But if you don't earn the moment, then you're not going to have that cool, like, don't worry guys, I got this. I'll hold off the horde. Because this is actual, like, what's really, if you have been saying like, never, never, ever will I ever stick my neck out for anybody. I'm a loner. I've been playing this Dungeons and Dragons campaign and sort of haphazardly a part of the party the entire time. But you know what? Now you have to like earn that moment. And it's cool if you like get to that point over like a period of time where you're like learning and growing. But if you're consistently just saying like, I fucking hate everybody that I know, and now I'm gonna like turn character and try and like do some big heroic move, that's weird. It's different if you're like slowly learning throughout the scene and you like kind of throughout the story be like, I think that I could have the capacity to care about things past myself.
Yes.
I'm exhibiting growth, and everyone's like, you are exhibiting growth. We like this.
Yes, that's the exact thing. So to pitch our stuff, I run Fireteam Discord. We have a 24-hour Halo roleplay. It's all fun stuff. And I have literally helped hundreds of people at this point develop Halo characters, right? And sometimes I've had to tell people like, hey, right off the bat, you should try being a Marine instead of a Spartan, because everybody wants to be a Spartan. Everybody wants that power fantasy, right?
Hold on. Can I do an impression of? I've never been a part of these conversations.
Yes.
I'm just going to do my impression of an overzealous person reaching out to you in the DMs for help.
All right.
And tell me how close I am. Hey, Jack. I'm so happy to be here. This Discord server is so cool, and I just love Halo so much. I wanted your help making a character. I'm thinking that his Spartan designation, he's a Spartan, by the way. I think it's going to be Spartan 96, who actually is one that is lost in the lore. So it's actually official. It's one that hasn't been claimed by Halo Studios yet. And he was born on Reach. And he like lost his parents at 3, actually. So he was already an orphan. And like he always wanted to be an ODST growing up, but then he was kidnapped. And he was so not only bad at school and Spartan training, but also just really funny and kind of an outsider and kind of like an edgy loner. But like everyone really liked him. Does that sound like a good character?
Actually, yes, that sounds like a good character. That's more character depth than most people will give you.
Oh God!
So
this is John Ramirez. He's a Spartan that hates the Covenant, and everybody likes him more than everybody else.
So yes. So when so let me do my impression of what not that anybody has especially done this in the server, but this is kind of just general what people do when they're first making a character, and my players have grown so far beyond this and impressed me and blow my minds, and I want every one of them who watches this to know that this is calling out none of you, okay? But a lot of times, the first time someone brings a character to me, this is what they do. Hi, I want to make a Spartan His name's Jeff. He's got the biggest, baddest gun in the world. He's got the best armor. He's the fastest. And he's part of the super secret special part of the Spartan 2 program that makes him better than everybody else.
Got it. So he's Jeff the Spartan, and he's the best. Just him is the best one.
Yeah,
every other Spartan is not the best one.
Yeah, exactly. So, like,
can I ask you one question about Jeff, just his history?
Yes.
Was he actually considered to be the leader of the Spartan 2s over Master Chief at one point?
See, I don't know. That's where.
I'm
that's
sorry.
The thing.
I'm channeling my Dungeons and Dragons angst right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. Whether you're making a Spartan in Halo or you're making Dungeons and Dragons characters, right? Like, everybody wants their super cool god tier weapon, like, I have the power moment, without understanding character development or getting into the role play, understanding that you will earn that. You sometimes have to start at 0 and then go to hero. And, like, it's okay to have some heroic moments in your past. Be like, I am the hero of Kavach. I was the, guy who saved this one town. But when you come into the story, you have to come in with some, like, humility and understand that you will struggle. Another thing,
I'll speak to the other side of that, though. I don't necessarily think that you need to. I think a lot of people, myself included, really like that. There's like a balance and a flow to, like, making a character that is both, fun and wacky at times, but then also can be serious in like not an overly serious way.
Oh yes.
Like one character that I made. I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, so I've got a lot of different characters that I can call on. But, like, one of them, his name. Oh God, what was his name? Tuna Kahuna.
Hell yeah.
His name was Tuna Kahuna. He was a cleric, and I just reflavored all of his spells to be like food. And his primary motivation was that he wanted to open up the best beach shack for burgers that's ever existed. But he kept getting sidetracked by all these adventures that he had to go on and, like, the world ending. And, like, it was such, like, a fun, easy, grounded character to always come back to. Because he was like, I mean, yeah, guys, like, I'm happy to do this, but, like, I have to go back to work. Like,
I gotta open the burger stand.
Like, I'm just saying, like, sometimes, like, lowering the stakes is a significantly, like, more fun decision when it's like, I don't want to save the world. I'm not trying to, like, single-handedly end the Covenant onslaught. What I actually want to do is open up, like, a Hollow Tune store on, like, a beach on Voy in the Halo universe, and I want to, like, kind of just, have enough credits to get by and listen to some jazz music. Like, that's, like, sometimes and that character being thrown into the cosmic horror of the Flood is a lot more fun than I'm Johnny Sirius and I was considered to be the leader of the Spartans.
Yes. That's the exact thing. Like, is you don't have to be serious about it. Whatever your backstory is, whatever your motivation, just, like, full send. You know what I mean? It's just like when you're making a character, you can't, like, tying this back to my earlier point, right? Is you don't want to automatically be a Rey, like, not a Rey. You don't want to be a Mary Sue, right? Because you don't want to automatically say I'm the coolest, I'm the best, or whatever, or I'm the most unserious character. When you're, you kind of have to, you build your character for your setting, and they don't have to fit perfectly. They just have to have some more depth. And
I agree.
You can learn that depth. You can even say, I have no idea right now, and build that as your role playing. It's just
way stronger decision to do that, by the way, basically in every context. If you don't make commitments, don't make huge choices, know how he feels or how she feels or how they feel about just, like, oh my God, this crazy thing happened. Like, oh, they usually start, like, coping with, like, bad jokes and, like, getting nervous or something. And, like, that's all you need. Like, you don't need to go, like, what is it in my past? Wait a minute. How did this relate to my parents' death?
Yeah.
Like, It's not all that. And
Yes.
it frankly, if you try and make everything a moment, like it's not going to work. I agree with you. I think that to bring it back to your original point, though, do you believe that Luke Skywalker is a Gary Stu? I believe that he
No.
sort of is.
He is
Rip?
okay. So he's very much a chosen one, and it's okay to have a chosen one arc, right?
Yeah.
But Luke isn't automatically the best at everything. Like,
I mean, at the end of A New Hope, throwing a force shooting the thing down the Death Star track. That's a listen. I think that I don't know if I agree. And when I say I don't know if I agree, I actually mean I don't know if I agree because I need to think about it more. But like, I don't know. I think he's better done for sure. And I like Luke Skywalker more. I think that he goes through probably more. I mean, he gets his hand cut off in the second movie. Like he's like struggling with it. Like he's not great at it. I think that it's a pretty big outlier feat at the end, which is like why it works. Like, cause he, the message is that like he was struggling. He was not immediately good at everything. And then when he kind of like trusts in the force, gives him the power that he needs to balance things. That is why it works.
mm-hmm.
And I don't think that we see too many moments of struggle from Rey. Like,
correct.
Really ever, right?
Yeah, exactly. The big a big one that people point out often with Rey is in the first movie. Rey has had no formal training whatsoever with a lightsaber, right? No real training with the Force, and they're in this scene where Kylo Ren confronts them in the Forest, and it is the most kick-ass entrance for Kylo. And I'm so mad that the following scene is bad because coming into the
snowy one, is it snowy in the first?
Yes.
That thing is with the white and the blue, the snow and the red. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
And then Kylo, who's had years of formal training under both Luke and a Sith Lord, gets his ass kicked. Like he's like at first he's just like angry slapping, and then this goes back to kind of the choreography of the movies as well, not just the character development. But I don't think they brought on the sword training person for the additional trilogy that they did with the original trilogy. So it's not as much like sword play.
Do you take issue with that, by the way, between like, especially with like, because the prequels are so choreographed, like they're like dance scenes basically that are awesome. Like, do you take issue with that?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay.
Because like that's kind of the like poetic flavor of Star Wars is that when we're fighting with lightsabers, we're not just trying to kill each other, right? But we're fighting with all of the weight and vindication of our beliefs behind us, and it becomes this not just this exchange of beliefs and like dance between the two people. If you go back to back to the fight between my brain is having a fart, Qui-Gon and
Darth
Maul, right? You can see their fighting styles where Maul's is aggressive but still like precise, and like where he's just like rage throwing out like these impressive moves, where like Qui-Gon's is like more kind of reserved and calculated, and like he's countering and then opening advances and stuff. And it's this back and forth. The battle is a conversation where like yes, Rey doesn't have any formal training in the first movie, but suddenly she gets the upper hand. And I get you can hand wave that through the Force or whatever, but it doesn't feel as like good. It feels like she through the way that it should have played out, if you want to tie all these characters together, is that like Kylo should just have her on the back foot the whole time. Like she should go for a swing and he's like, no,
He probably should have thwomped her. He should have cut off her hand or something like that.
He doesn't even have to cut off her hand. It would be the trope and it would be funny and it should be what happened. But like, if she was gonna beat him back, it should have been somehow like through the power of friendship, what Finn wakes up and is like, oh, I've got my blaster, and I can do
I think that would have been yeah, I think that would have been cool if Kylo's just dominating the whole time, like absolutely clowning on her, like Vegeta just flexing on her the entire time, and then like he's about to kill her, and then you just like you hear Finn go like nah, and then just shoots him like unceremoniously. Like that would have been lit.
Yes.
Like and that would have represented like a different type of like a hey, we are making a deliberate change.
Yes.
It is not any longer like Star Wars can change and the rules can change, and it doesn't have to be this deliberately choreographed like formal dance. And I think I'm actually further apart from you maybe than you're anticipating. I am fine with the de-escalation visually of the choreographing of the fight scenes, because I think that makes sense, because these Jedi or these Force wielders are not really they aren't like formally trained to be dueling all the time. Like Maul was dueling with Palpatine and his brother all the time. Qui-Gon was dueling like formally in the Jedi Academy as like part of their training. So like that makes sense to me, that they have like more flourish and it's more of a dance, whereas like it's more guttural and street fighting with Rey. I think that actually can work, but like to your point, I don't think it's done very well. And I think that it would have been a much stronger move for them to say, we are going to deliberately make change. The way that this usually works is, the hero would find that power of friendship and be able to overcome, or at least like get away with it. No, the change is going to be like, no, the Force isn't the answer to all the problems. And Finn should say that. Yeah. And he should, and he probably shouldn't be Force sensitive if they're not going to really commit to it in the later movies. But like,
I think Finn, honestly, if I were going to rewrite the trilogies, I would have just removed Rey as a character, and Finn the Stormtrooper should have been the Jedi.
That would have been cool.
Like, first off, imagine the cosplay.
It would have been cool. It would have been cool.
Half Stormtrooper, half Jedi, just out here, and then he
would have been what's actually a Halo parallel? It would have been the same thing as like why people attach themselves to ODST so much more than Spartans sometimes. Like there's that group of Halo fans that are like, oh my God, ODST are the best. And I'm like, yeah, I feel you. Because like it's more grounded, like you're not the super soldier, and some people like that. If you're the Stormtrooper that isn't Force sensitive, I tend to agree that I think that that's going to be a more like interesting story than I'm good at everything.
Yeah. He just like there are just so many. This leads into like Rey's inclusion in the new trilogy. She kind of like stomps down the focus on other characters. Like, we all thought when watching the first movie, when Finn stands up and he's like, and ignites the lightsaber for the first time, you're like, oh my God, he's the Jedi. I thought she was, and then she turns out to be Jedi. And like, it's just his story would have been so much more interesting with that. And then, they had this whole, like, I am the balance, and like Rey becoming a gray Jedi at the end, right? Where she's got the orange lightsaber and she's supposed to kind of be the balance, right? But because they have to I feel like they rushed the timeline of this story. Everything was happening so quick in succession. Rey doesn't have the time to dip fully into the dark side. She only has the time on when she's training with Luke, right? She goes down and like sees the reflection or whatever, and she's like, this is what you could become if you went to the dark side. And like her reflection with Kylo, whereas like I think at the end, like if Rey's still in the story, Rey should have died and Kylo would have been the perfect gray Jedi at the end. Because he struggled with the light and the dark, and him going to the dark, experiencing it, and coming back to the light is just like, no, I am the balance.
I agree. I think that would have been a better thing. I want to zoom out for a moment and just say that like a lot of this conversation and I don't know how you feel about this, but I just want to like say for anyone listening and for myself, a lot of this has been kind of framed in a way that makes it seem like if there is not some level of really deliberate growth with a character, that it's bad. This is not the case, and I will give the classic example. Goku is not a character that exhibits growth. Goku is a flat character. Goku is also mostly still a pretty good character. Like we like the fact that Goku is simple. Goku wants to fight. And for anyone that's like, that's not how he is, go read the manga. I promise you that if you've only watched like the dubs of it, then you probably have a very different interpretation of the character of Goku than from what the creator Akira Toriyama, R.I.P. Has for that character, because Goku is pretty consistently, he wants to eat, he wants to fight, he wants to get stronger, and he loves that. And like, that is okay.
Perfect. That's perfect, because it's expressed. You know what I mean? Goku's Goku's moments are like, I am going to be the best. I am going to fight strong people. I am going to get stronger. That's his whole shtick. And he doesn't like try to be deeper beyond that.
Anyone looking for a really strong, solid, fantastic content creator recommendation that I can wholeheartedly make to you, by the way, if you're at all interested in like Goku character breakdown stuff or just Dragon Ball breakdown stuff, go check out Totally Not Mark. He's now, I think, just most recently released some like collab stuff with Team 4-Star, who did Dragon Ball Abridged. He's amazing, really, really, really just competent and deliberate content creator that I love, and who loves anime.
Yes.
A lot of anime.
Oh. We're getting into the anime podcast now.
Man.
No, but just in general, I have things. Another good character just like that's flat, that doesn't have to be deeper, at least in the original trilogy, is Master Chief. We fucking love Master Chief, right?
Correct.
But like Halo 1 through 3, his character development is Green Man, kill alien, save Blue Lady. Like, it doesn't have to be deeper than that.
No.
And it doesn't try to be. But I will say, when we get to Halo 4, right? I think a lot of people will hate this. A lot of, I made a TikTok about getting crucified for liking Halo 4 the other day.
Sure.
But I think Master Chief's at least characterization in Halo 4 makes so much sense.
Sure. I agree.
Because he goes from being the stoic, I'm going to save humanity. This is the war. I'm the soldier they need me to be. The war is over. Immediately as he wakes up, his next conflict is like, why are there aliens shooting at us? And my best friend is dying. Like, he switches into, we need to solve this task at hand. And he shows his like emotional underdevelopment really well.
I agree with you, and I think that it works totally. The way that Chief is characterized in Halos 4, 5, and Infinite, I don't have major issue with at all. But I think that it is important to point out that, to your point, where of like Halos 1 through 3 with the Master Chief is a flat character, and that is okay. Halos 4 through Infinite, say what you will about how well they stick the landing, and I don't think that they do it very well. But it does represent a change. Like, it is not a good change or a bad change. It represents a change to the way that the people who are actually telling the Halo story really want us to be perceiving the story. And that's fine. But like, I think that it's just okay for everyone to accept that there are some people who are going to connect and resonate more with a certain type of story. There are other people who are going to connect and resonate with a different type of story better. And there's also just going to be people who could connect with either, but because they attach to one version, probably the original version, where Master Chief was a flat character, it's pretty difficult for them to start saying, well, hey, I liked this for one reason, and I'm not saying this is bad. It's just different. And I'm not necessarily, that's not what I signed up for. And that's okay.
Yes.
And it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay to like things, and it's okay not to like things.
Yeah. And if other people disagree with the things that you like and dislike, that's also okay.
That's also okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think you and I have I have told you, I think 3 times, I'm like, I think I'm far away from you on that one. I think I disagree with you, and it's okay. Who cares?
Yeah. Exactly. We don't have to crucify each other about
it. No, why care? Why care?
Yeah.
I do want to talk about a specific character. I am happy to, because I know that you'll want to talk about
take it away.
them too.
Take it away. Let's do it.
Can we just, this will take us wherever. So this could be I just want to talk about Edward Elric, I think, a little bit, in Fullmetal Alchemist, and just like how
it's washed out, but yes.
It's washed out, but I just want to like say statement of intent. I think that Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and like I haven't actually read the original manga, so I'm a poser. I think it's like a perfect, I think it's like a perfect story. I think it's
Yeah.
great. I think it's like a perfect story, and like some of the moments that just like stand out to me as like the epitome of like what I connect to, not only in characters in general, but why I connect to like Edward Elric. And like I just think he's a fucking fascinating character.
Oh yeah.
One, when he is a child and like his eagerness, and I remember the scene of him smiling and talking to Alphonse when he is talking about a leap of imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And basically just like I cannot express to you how like hopeful it is for me as a person with my sensibilities to see a child eagerly smiling about the idea of doing something that nobody has ever done before, and characterizing it as a leap of imagination. I think it's like beautiful. I love that moment. I also think that Edward has like a pretty extreme amount of hubris that actually represents itself pretty well, because he's a
Yes.
really balanced character. But another line that's really coming to mind, that I just rewatch all the time, is at the end of the show. Spoilers, when he is fighting the homunculus, the dwarf in the flask.
Yes.
And his insult to him is, "Get up, you novice. I'm going to show you how outclassed you really are." And he's saying that to God because he is so confident that he is smarter than God. And then he fucking backs it the fuck up. It's so fucking killer. And then, of course, just the end. I think it's the perfect end when, like, with all of this power, with all of this hubris, with all of the things that Edward Elric could do, he figures out the riddle that nobody's ever been able to figure out, which is that truly, if the real question of the show is what is the value of a human soul, and what is the value of kind of the truth of it all, then the value is kind of like dealer's choice. And he chooses to put every single thing that he could ever have, the possibility of all of the different reality warping of the universe that's endowed to people by alchemy. He gives that up so he can get his brother back.
Yeah.
And
It's
he's
like,
happy about it.
yes. He's entirely like, he's like, what is the value of my, all of our stuff? And like, what is the equivalent exchange for this? And they're like, and he's like, oh, it's the ability to do all this bullshit, like all this stuff that I've been clawing so hard at is like my brother's more valuable. Like I have something
or
equally
it's the
to
same
say.
value, which
Yeah.
is also like beautiful. Like literally, like if this is the door of truth right here, and if for anybody that hasn't watched, this is going to make no sense. But like if this is the door of truth, then quite the show, the anime, whatever, it spells it out directly for you. It says this is everything. Period. What are you willing to trade if the entire conceit of the universe is that everything has to be an equivalent exchange? My family is worth everything. Not everything to me, everything. And I think that's fucking powerful. I think it's fucking
awesome.
Cool. I don't know. I love Fullmetal Alchemist. It's like one that I try and rewatch every single year. I love Greed. I think that Greed is one of the best characters ever.
Yes. And listen, Fullmetal Alchemist is also a great example of a character that has like the hero's journey, right? Like Edward is such a, like, we see his childlike wonder and eagerness turn into kind of his adult, early young adult hubris, to like getting knocked on his ass a couple times to like, okay, we got to figure this shit out. It's like, it's so good.
Yeah, maybe, you know what? I used the word hubris before. Maybe hubris is the wrong word to describe it, because I actually think that by using that word, maybe I'm missing the point a little bit. I don't know if Edward is actually a character that has a ton of hubris. I think that he is a pretty extraordinary amount of competence, and me, the reader, I think gets trapped sometimes in the same perception that the other characters in the universe do, which is assuming that he is arrogant, that he has a ton of hubris. And I think that when you look at what he actually does, he just basically always calls a shot and then says, I believe that I am smart enough to go make that happen.
Yes.
And then sometimes he fails and fucks up really, really fucking bad. And then people die. And then he loses his limbs and his brother loses his body. And he regrets that.
Also, can we, Fullmetal, like, can we just say that's the funniest irony of like, oh, what did it cost you to be able to do alchemy? Oh, just an arm and a leg. Like it's
great. It's great.
So
there are so few characters that I dislike in that show. I think that everyone is like a little study of like, I see how they got there. None of these characters feel out of place to me. Riza Hawkeye feels like a really, really earned character. I don't feel like she's ever like in a place of like, I feel like I love that that what's it called? Mustang is always reliant on her,
Yes.
even though he is on paper significantly more powerful.
Yes.
I
Also,
think that.
Can we just gas up Mustang? The scene that everybody loves is Mustang, put for everybody who's listening on Spotify or just like audio, we're doing
we're flicking
the snap thing where you know what scene where he's just burning Lust.
It's great. It's great. Ooh, and then Lust voiced by American national treasure Laura Bailey.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yes.
See, we went from like dogging on characters, now we're just like gassing on characters.
It's a great Fullmetal Alchemist. Every character I can think of in dude. I mean, everyone loves what's it called? But what's his face? Who dies?
Hughes.
But yeah, Hughes. Everyone loves him.
Oh.
The voice acting is great in that show. By the way, I know that there's stuff with the Vic Mignogna that I haven't followed, but I don't care. It's just great voice acting. I'm not saying I don't care about stuff, by the way. I'm saying I don't care about that for the purpose of this discussion.
No, you're fine. I need to cosplay Hughes so bad because, like, in reality, whenever I'm out, I'm like, I have my phone up and I'm like, look at my wife, look at my beautiful wife, look at my dog.
Yeah,
he's the quintessential family man who's also really fucking good at doing his job. And God, is he a badass when he needs to be? Oh, it's such a good show. And
who's your favorite character in the show? Gun to your head.
Gun to my head. Who's my favorite character in the show?
Yes, and you can't pull the trigger.
Winry.
Good call. Great call. Winry's awesome.
Awesome. And I love that how she's played out as both kind of she is a sub character to the plot, right? But she's a good driving force and a backup, and she's not just like the potential like love interest / best friend / whatever. Winry has her own convictions. She's good at her own craft. She like states her beliefs and convictions really fucking well. God, Winry's so well written.
She goes through a great amount of development as well, just like with her involvement with Scar and really like her role in turning him around. Winry's great. Yeah, there's so. Yeah, and she's such like an active character in the story. Like I know that she's reacting to like Ed a lot, but she's got so much volition, and you can tell like this is a character that I don't believe is going to do something she doesn't want to fucking do, and I just love that.
Winry's superpower is her attitude and a wrench. Like
yeah, which are good. Going back to the character creation story, if you ever needed just baseline, wrench. I'm good with a wrench. So that's all you need to know.
Yes, that goes to my so I'm gonna step sideways from that, right? In my personal OC now, okay, is so when we're writing personal OCs, and I have my Spartan Jack, right, is my Spartan. That's who I roleplay. Someone's behind me somewhere. And when I was writing that character, right, I didn't go above and beyond to give him a bunch of weird abilities and stuff. I wrote Jack as he is Spartan 2, period. Right? I gave him some cool like design stuff because he's got a strong personality. But it's nothing beyond to like influence his fighting ability, right? It's always whenever I send him into battle, I didn't give him like super badass acts, and it's not like that you can't do that when you're making a character. But some of the best written characters, from my perspective, are like this is just a guy, and he's doing the best with everything that he's got. What he's given.
Think that's a great baseline. If anyone is listening to this and is like, I'm interested in role playing games, or I want to get into a role play community or something like that. Just being a person that wants to do their best and figuring out, and they're relatively normal compared to their peers. Like you can be a relatively normal Spartan too, right? In this scenario, who is still a super soldier. It's a great place to start and figure it all out. Figure it all out. The rest later is an awesome place to be. And like specific tactical thing for anybody who is like considering getting into Fireteam Discord, for example. Or into a Dungeons and Dragons game. If you're like, I have no idea what I should do or how my character should act in a scene because I haven't done anything like this before and it's weird, the strongest place that you can ever be if you don't know is just be gassing everyone up, be supportive, and have your character try and find just as many organic reasons to help other people as you possibly can. A real world way that could play out is like, I'm playing a Spartan in a Halo role playing game. I don't really know my character very well. I'm uncomfortable with this. Someone at the table goes, I want to go. I think that I want to try and hack it. What you could say is, you're amazing at hacking. That's a great idea. How can I help? Like that. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to do. And then watch, everybody at the table likes you, and everybody is like, this character's awesome. This character fits into every scenario. All you do is just kind of like see like what you can do to support everybody else. If you are uncomfortable role playing, go do just that. It is the only one best thing that you can do. It is basic improv rules. Just see how you can support your scene partners, and then you will go have a fun time. So that's the tactical piece of information you can take away from this if you're looking for something from me.
Yes, and another thing. So we're gonna get into Dungeons and Dragons / Halo roleplay real quick.
Let's do a Dungeons and Dragons episode.
Yeah, let's do a whole Dungeons.
Let's call next week. Everybody tune in next week, and I'm gonna come together, and I'm gonna lead a whole weirdo character thing about Dungeons and Dragons and the history and all that.
I'm ready with my dice. I got it.
Could I have some dice in earshot at all times? Yes, I do. Nice.
Yeah, I'd be fancy and get the spinning dice tower for me being a DM. This is also a great puzzle thing at the table. We'll talk about that next week. But something that's really important, really, 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 really important, whether it comes to the Halo roleplay where we're just kind of essentially writing a book, or D&D tabletop gameplay, right? The absolute best thing that you can do is work with your teammates and not just make it the you show, right? Mm-hmm. Because, like, yes, do you want to be the one to slay the dragon? Yes, I want to stab that dragon. I want to stab that dragon so hard. But if I go, hey, how can we stab that dragon? I guarantee you that you will feel so much cooler when you and your friend group, your friend is like, I grab his foot and spin move, toss him into the air. And then I cast this spell to like bring him forward. And then even if you are the one to drive the sword in the dragon, you did it with your friends.
And when you play these games or do these role play moments for a while, like when you're in this stuff and you love this stuff, and if you do it, you probably will, you'll know that you made it when you get to the point where you just start looking for ways to like make other people the hero of the story. You're not looking for ways that like Cole can be the like, how the hell can I get the big kill? You start looking for ways of like, dude, Jack is the computer guy in this role play. Oh my God, Jack, I have the coolest idea that your character could go do amazing stuff on. What do you think and how can I help? Like you're going to start looking for it, and everyone's going to be like, I fucking love playing this game or role playing with this person. It's the coolest position that you can be, to just be supportive of other people. Niceness is legit life hack cool.
Yes. That's exactly how it is. Hold on, let me double check time. We're still good. Okay. We've got about 30 more minutes.
I don't know if I have about 30 more minutes, but but yes.
You're fine. Something that's really, I want to tell this story from a perspective, and this is something that we earned in character, right? And did really well.
Editor, music,
epic,
royalty free.
Back in our first role play, we introduced a rogue Spartan enemy named Perseus, right? He was this rogue Spartan who had taken over a small section of Oni. He was running like a rogue Oni Section 0 op, and he had juiced himself up with he was a Spartan 2, and he juiced himself up with Spartan 3 enhancements, right? So he was super tough, kicking everybody's ass. It was awesome, right? We were doing some investigation stuff, and this was completely spontaneous, but like we investigated this Oni agent's office, and there were a bunch of warthogs that we heard off in the distance coming down, and it was just Jack and an ODST, and Jack was like, go, I'll hold them off, right? And the ODST runs back to the ship, and Jack grabs the first warthog and like slams it into the ground. And that's the last you hear of him for a while. He got kidnapped, right? When they get to Mars, right? Jack didn't break out on his own. He waited for it. I set it up so that the team had to go like to the security posts and like release him from the thing and do it. And like it's so fun because like everyone was trying to get to Jack, and then everyone was like, okay, Jack, we want to let you have this moment. Here's your escape moment. And I like, you know, because I was helping them like talking through it the whole time, role playing, you know, different stuff. And at the moment, everyone was like waiting for it. And the moment when Jack's cell door slides open and he punches a hole through the guy, grabs his shotgun and pulls it back through him, everyone's like,
yeah. You earned it. You earned it. You earned
that moment.
It's a better moment because you earned it. And
yes.
and people, like, to your point, because people were like, it's your go do it. Like when you give, you receive. You receive the big goodies. It's a way cooler when your buddies are like, oh my God, how cool would it be if you punched a hole through him? It's way cooler. It's way cooler when they say that as opposed to how cool would it be if I punched a hole through him right now?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
I wish I had the money to animate that, because it was a whole like Jack essentially being the Doom Slayer like scene where he just rips the guy's shotgun. I think at one point we spear the shotgun when it runs out of ammo through a guy, grab the ammo off his belt, and like turn with the guy on it. It's so good. And those earned moments that you do with your friends are just so.
Yeah, this is. I'll tee up the discussion that I already know I want to have next week if we're going to talk a little bit about Dungeons and Dragons. What I want to talk about is a topic that I have coined in my head and never put on the internet before. So I'll have it for any podcast. I'm going to tell the story of how I learned to stop worrying and embrace emergent gameplay and content creation experiences. And what I'm going to talk through is kind of like, and because I have a lot of thoughts that I've already written down on this, so I'm like ready to go on it. I want to talk through how you can try and train your brain to recognize meaningful moments better and change your plans to accommodate those new experiences that you didn't know were going to happen.
Yes.
And it happens in Dungeons and Dragons. It happens in role playing. It happens in life. It happens in content creation as well. And there are a lot of opportunities where we should change course in the moment instead of sticking to our plan, and it's better.
One, will you write that down in the notes so that we can talk about it?
Yes, how I learned to stop worrying and love the emergent gameplay. Also, It's in like 27 different notes because I have started this video like 25 times over the last 3 years.
Well, we're going to fucking do it this time.
Yeah. Also, no, we'll talk about it though.
Can I give you some homework that will tee up the audience with bated breath to hear how this turns out next episode?
Happy to. I hope that you don't ask about my history with homework from when I was a child.
That's all right. I'll be on you about this week. Okay. I'm going to send you the Fireteam Discord character sheet. And I want you to make a character. Okay. And it's super easy. You have any questions, you can ask me. The character sheet, it's all Halo themed. Like we worked on this character sheet. I want you to tell 5 people worked on this character sheet for 8 hours. Right? So there's a lot of love and depth into this character sheet. But you can make whatever character you want.
It's gonna be a dude.
It's gonna be a guy.
It's gonna end up being a dude. There's no way he's gonna be cool.
That's fine. But we'll talk about it on the next podcast episode while we're covering D&D stuff. So, can I read us out? Shall I read us out on this?
Please go for it.
This has been the Office of Nerdy Intelligence. Thank you guys for coming in and hearing about our character talk. Next week we'll be talking about Dungeons and Dragons and how to learn to stop worrying and love the emergent gameplay and content creation and moments that you didn't anticipate in your life, and how you can get better at being a person by doing that. Exactly. I've been Jack113. Check me out on TikTok. This has been Cole, Internet Tour Guide. Check him out on TikTok. We'll see you guys next week.